Hi, I'm Sarah Henches, and this is a basic yoga stretch sequence. I've got some music playing, some really nice relaxing music. So if you go and Google theta waves or meditative mind, you'll find lots of really nice relaxing music on YouTube that you can use for yoga or just for relaxation. So again, a very basic series. We're going to start standing up, feet about shoulder width, hip width apart, knees slightly bent. We'll just spread the feet and sink into the earth here, bringing the shoulders up, back, and down, palms facing forward, and just starting with a few nice deep inhales and exhales here, in through the nose, out through the nose. We can close or open our eyes as we like, or just keep the eyes nice and soft. Each inhale grows us a little taller through the top of the head, lengthening the spine. Each exhale just lets the shoulders relax down and back a little bit more. And as we find those nice deep inhales and exhales, we might just spread the feet or rock forward and back a little bit. Maybe giving the fingers a little bit of a wiggle, the wrists a few circles. When we're ready, we'll inhale one arm up, and then exhale and just let that circle around. Let's do that 2 more times. Again, a big inhale up, and then exhale, circle that around. Another big inhale, exhale, circle that around, and then just inhale, let that arm float to the side, and then exhale, and just let it come all the way back down to the leg. When we're ready, inhaling the other arm up, and exhale, let that circle around. 2 more times, inhaling up, exhale, circling that around, letting the breath match the movement. Exhaling around, and then again, inhale, arm out to the side, and then exhale, and just let that arm float. Let's take a big inhale, both arms coming up, and then exhale, pressing out through the palms, a little bend in the knees again as we inhale up, and exhale, pressing that out. 1 more time like that. And then another big inhale. We'll clasp the hands and bring them back behind the back of the head, lifting the chest, opening the elbows, looking up to the sky. Another big inhale and exhale. One more time. On the next inhale, pressing the arms up, letting that round over in front of us, and just pressing through the upper back, pulling the belly button in, and then inhaling, opening the arms, exhaling and letting the arms float down to the sides. Let's take another big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips, sweeping into forward fold. The hands can rest on the thighs if that's a more comfortable place to be. Or we can let the belly and chest come down toward the quads. We can let the arms hang. If you have a pillow or a bolster or an ottoman, you can always put that in front of you to rest the hands. Or just a true forward fold, letting the arms hang from the shoulders, the head hang from the neck. Again, pulling the belly button up, let the knees be just a little bent. And as we breathe here, just hanging in the upper body, we can add a little swing, sway, circle, or egg beater through the arms. If we like, we can still the arms, letting the head hang from the neck. We can give it a gentle little shake, or a nice easy little nod. When we're ready, we're going to push down through the feet, pulling the belly button up, and just slowly rounding that up one vertebrae at a time as we come all the way to the top. And then inhaling the shoulders up, back, and down. 2 more times, inhaling shoulders up, back, and down. 1 more time. And again, just letting the shoulders relax down by the sides. We'll step out wide on our mats, and if you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay. You can just pretend to have one on any floor surface where you're good. We're going to let the knees and toes turn out to the corners and sink down as low as you'd like to be, or keep those legs a little bit straighter. Again, shoulders always relaxing down away from the ears. Big inhale and exhale. When we're ready, let's inhale the arms up, bringing the hands together at the top, and then bringing the hands down to the heart center. Again, letting shoulders relax, holding here. And again, maybe sinking lower if that feels good. We can lift the toes on one side, and then the other side, just gently rocking back and forth, side to side. And then sinking down in the center again. Let's inhale and open to a big 5-point star. And then as we exhale, squeezing the elbows toward the spine behind us. Again, inhale, take up as much space as you can. And then exhale, squeezing in toward the spine. 1 more time, again, big inhale, reach. And exhale, squeezing down. We're going to change that to a big inhale up. And then as we exhale, we sweep the arms in front. Again, inhaling up. That sweep can come lower all the way to the floor, or keep it wherever you like. Again, letting those arms sweep. And then 1 more big inhale. As we exhale, sinking down, bringing the hands to the quads, pressing one shoulder toward the center, looking over the other shoulder, and taking a big inhale and exhale here. Inhaling, pulling the belly button up. Exhale, pressing the other shoulder to the center, again looking over the shoulder, big inhale and exhale. And then inhaling the belly button up. Exhale, press the shoulder, flowing that from side to side a few times. Always being sure to go at your pace, with your breath, your range of motion. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, don't do it. Lessons for life and lessons for yoga. Let's do 1 more here. And then pulling the belly button up, rounding back up to the center, bringing the shoulders up, back and down, and sinking down again. Let's take a big inhale, giving ourselves a hug. Let the shoulders relax here. Again, keeping the spine, the head, and the neck nice and long. Maybe lifting the chin slightly. Big inhale and exhale. You can always sink lower into the legs if you like. And then option to just tilt the head toward that top hand side. That's a big stretch from the ear down the side of the neck into the shoulder. Again, letting that breath expand and open through the rib cage, down into the belly. Bringing the head back to the center. Inhale, opening the arms, again, taking up space. Bringing the other arm on top as we let the shoulders relax down here. Again, sinking as low as you like. And again, the option to tilt the head toward the top hand. And again, increasing that stretch from the ear through the neck, down into the shoulder. Again, keeping those deep inhales and exhales. And gently bringing the head back to the center. Let's open the arms, palms face up. A little squeeze of the shoulder blades behind us, like if we had a pencil along our spine, we'd squeeze and hold it there. Again, shoulders release down, maybe sinking down. Option to lift one heel and then the other heel. So it's like we're holding a tray on each hand, keeping that nice and centered, balanced. Staying here, or lifting both heels and balancing on the balls of the feet. Strength through the lower body. And then heels come down, sinking down. Let's inhale up. Exhaling out. Let's take another big inhale. And then we're going to bring one hand to face away and one hand to face toward us. We're going to clasp the fingers together, shoulders relax, and then just gently pull the hands apart here in what's called the Ganesh Mudra. Strength, resiliency. Always with the breath, letting that relax and release. Let's inhale and open. We're just going to change the hands so the other hand faces forward, other hand faces back. Clasp the fingers and gently press out, again sinking down if we like. And then opening the arms, big inhale. Exhale, let the arms relax down and gently walk the feet closer together until we're back to center, back to that mountain pose. Again, spreading the feet, sinking in, letting the shoulders relax down and back. Mountains are strong and stable, but they are always moving. So keeping that solid center. Again, exhale, release and relax. We're going to bring this into a balance pose, and you can feel free to bring a hand onto the wall or onto a chair or something to help you balance. We're going to shift the weight into one foot, knee slightly bent, turning the knee and hip open so the toes are right by the ankle. We'll bring the hands to heart center. So this is tree pose, and you might stay just like this in tree pose, or again, hand on the wall or supporting on a chair. So always options from here, staying strong and solid here, or moving the toes off of the floor up to the ankle, or inside the shin, or up inside the inner thigh. So we don't want to put the foot directly on the knee. We want to keep that supporting leg slightly bent and find that balance where it meets us today. The hips are open, the chest is open, letting the shoulders drop down and back. If we come out of that pose, we can always come right back into it and can always bring the toes back down to the floor to feel more solid. Balance poses might look easy, but they are not easy. And balance is one of those things that we often neglect in our workouts, if not also in our daily lives. And balance can be really important, both literally and figuratively. I know we're here for a long time. If we like, we can grow branches, or we can keep our focus on the lower body, on the trunk. Our branches might move around a little bit. The whole tree might sway in the breeze. So again, finding any movement you like, or can always bring the hands to the hips or keep them out to the sides, or even reach behind and clasp through. Again, those are all options for our tree pose. Let's bring the hands back together to heart center. Take a big inhale in. And then exhale, bring the roots back down to the earth. Maybe just shake out the toes, the ankle on that supporting leg. Nice big inhale and exhale, stay heart center. And then shifting our balance to the other foot, slight bend in that supporting leg. Again, turning the knee and hip open. And again, you're welcome to stay right there with the toes on the floor. You can change the arms at any time, or you can use a wall or a chair for support. Hips open, chest open, toes can stay or can move up to the inner shin or inner thigh. Again, above or below the knee, let the knee press open. And again, might find a little wobble, can always come out and back into that tree. And again, just letting that breath flow a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. We can change arm options if we like. Again, we can focus on the lower body, the roots, the trunk of the tree. We can open the chest, reaching behind us. We can always stay heart center, or we can grow those branches. Again, there are so many different options, and part of yoga is finding that option where it meets you in that moment. Always a different moment, different day, a different ability as we find that balance. Hands coming back to heart center when we're ready. And then again, bringing the roots back down to the earth. Inhaling up, exhaling out. Let's take another big inhale in. And another big exhale out. And again, that supporting leg, can shake it out a little bit. Wiggle the toes, circle the ankle. And then again, coming back to that mountain pose, let's take a big inhale in. And again, we'll exhale, hinging at the hips, sweeping into that forward fold. Again, hands can rest on the thighs, let the chest and the belly drop, or the arms can hang from the shoulders, the head hang from the neck. Again, we can stay right here, bending the knees as much as we need to. Finding some stretch through the low back, down into the hips and glutes, down into the hamstrings, down to the heels. Again, if we like, we might swing, sway, circle, or egg beater the arms. You might still the arms, letting the head hang, can give it a gentle little shake or a gentle little nod. This time when we come out of that forward fold, we're going to reverse swan dive. So we're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the arms to the sides, flat back as we lift up, and then exhale and press out. And again, let's just bring those shoulders up, back, and down. You can always get a sip of water if you need one. Again, this is a short standing series. So if you want, get some water. And then when you're ready, we're going to step this out wide on our mats or our imaginary mat. This time we're going to have the feet be parallel to each other and the short ends of the mat. Last time we were turned out to the corners. So again, this time parallel or even slightly turned in rather than turned out. We're always keeping the knees just slightly bent, nice and gentle and safe on the knees. Again, shoulders relaxing down, head and neck nice and long. The distance between your feet is up to you. You can always shorten that distance or widen that distance. Just letting the hands gently rest on the thighs, letting that breath expand and open out through the chest, the rib cage, down into the lower body, into the belly, using up the entire lung span if we can. As we age, we tend to use less and less of our lung capacity. And so that's one of the things that yoga can help us do, is to increase that capacity of our breath and wake up maybe even parts of our lungs that we haven't used in years. When we're ready, we're going to inhale, circle the arms up. We're going to make fists with the hands, and we're going to bring the hands down to the low back sacrum. So just right there on the low back, right inside the hips, and then squeezing the elbows toward each other, lifting and lengthening the torso and opening the chest. We might just look up to the sky here, opening up the front side of the body. If you would like to, we can gently press the hips forward as we lift and lengthen, a little mini back bend. Again, nice big inhale and exhale. And then that next inhale lifts us straight back up. As we exhale, letting the hands slide down the back of the legs. The hands again can rest on the thighs. Again, if we have something in front of us, a bolster of some kind, an ottoman, a yoga block, a foam roller, that can be in front of us. Hands on the quads or the shins. or the ankles or the floor. So again, choosing where that standing straddle feels best for you today. And just letting the upper body relax here. So we were doing the forward fold before. This is also a forward fold, but now with wide legs, standing straddle. You can again always walk the feet wider or narrower, keeping them parallel. Maybe tilting the tailbone towards the sky and lowering the chest to increase that stretch from the low back, down the back of the legs, through the hamstrings, down to the heels. Again, nice deep inhales and exhales. We can stay just as we are, or we can walk the hands over to one foot. Again, that can also be on the thigh if you prefer, or reaching down toward the foot and taking that big stretch down the side of the body, through the side of the shoulder. Again, nice big inhale and exhale. Walking the hands back to the center. And then over to the other side and finding that stretch where it meets you today. Big inhale and exhale. And then walking the hands back to the center. And again, just settling into that standing straddle. Let the chest come down, the head can hang. Taking another 2 deep breaths here. And then walking the feet a little bit closer, about half the distance where we just were. And then taking our time, flat back, hands can walk up the legs, or we can just lift that straight up using that hamstring strength. Till we come back to the center, and again, relaxing the shoulders down. We're going to keep one foot parallel to the short end of our yoga mat and turn the other foot parallel to the long end. Again, distance between your feet is up to you. You can always widen that a little bit. The back foot can be at a bit of an angle, and we're opening the hips, the chest, and the shoulders to that long end of our mat, letting the shoulders again relax down. We can bend into that front leg, coming into Warrior Two. So right now in our lower body, Warrior Two. We can look down that front knee, see the big toe, and imagine that invisible wall behind you, and we're just opening onto that invisible wall. We can reach the arms straight out to the sides if we like. We can always just keep the hands on the hips or releasing and relaxing down by the thighs if it gets to be too much to hold the arms out. Again, it looks easy to keep the arms here, but it is not. We can gently turn the head side to side a few times. And then settling back to the center. We're going to take that front hand, turning the palm face up. We'll shift the rib cage and reach toward the future, but then we'll lift up and settle back in the present moment. The back hand just gently rests on the thigh. We've got a big stretch from that front hip up through the fingers. Reverse warrior. We can look up to the hand, increasing the energy. We can look down to the ground, finding more grounding. Or again, we can stay right there with the head looking forward, staying in the present moment. If we'd like, we can inhale, look up, and then exhale, turn and look. Again, inhale, look up. Exhale, turn and look. One more time, inhale, look up. And then exhale, and just let that arm float back down, nice and easy. Let's step that back foot a little bit closer. And now we're straightening both legs. The hips and the shoulders are still up against that invisible wall. Legs are straight, but knee again always slightly bent. And coming into triangle pose here. Up against that invisible wall, let's just slide the rib cage a few times forward and back. And then sliding the ribcage toward the front leg, the hand comes to the quad, it just gently rests there. The other hand comes straight up from the hip. So we can kind of lean into that, and we don't really want to put very much pressure on the leg. We should be able to hold the upper body where it is without having to rely on the leg. If it's comfortable for you, the hand might slide below the knee and can rest on the shin, but there's no reason that we have to slide down this far. We're working on opening the hip, reaching through the fingers, and again, nice and long through the torso, from the tailbone out through the top of the head. Keep on breathing. And then a slight bend in that front leg, and gently bringing that back up to the top. Turning the feet back to parallel, and then turning that other foot parallel to the long end of the mat. So we're coming into those poses on the other side. Again, we might widen that stance if that feels good. Back foot parallel or turn slightly in. Chest, hips, and shoulders opening to that long end of the mat. Shoulders relax down, bending into the front leg. And again, maybe staying just like this today, or choosing to lift the arms. You can decide. And we might just turn the palms face up and then face down. Face up and face down. You can turn the head as well. And then making a few little circles through the wrists, or a few figure eights through the hands and the wrists. And then again, reaching out, fingers to fingers, tall through the top of the head. Let's take that front hand, turn it palm face up, shifting the rib cage, again reaching toward the future, and then reaching up and settling back in the present moment. Again, shoulders relax down. We can gaze up, out, or down to the heel as we ground ourselves. Strong and solid through the lower body. Big stretch from that front hip up through the fingers. Again, if we like, inhale, look up to the hand. And then exhale, turn and look over the shoulder. Again, inhale, look up to the hand. Exhale, turn and look over the shoulder. One more inhale, look up. And then exhale, and just let that arm float back down to the earth. Back foot steps in. Again, a pretty narrow stance here, straightening the legs, keeping the hips and the shoulders against that invisible wall. Again, shoulders release and relax down. Slight bend in that front knee, keep it safe. And then reaching out, fingers to fingers, tall through the top of the head. Again, we're still open to that visible wall. Let's shift the rib cage as we prepare for triangle pose. And then shifting the rib cage forward, bringing the fingers down to the quad and the other arm straight up. So again, we're opening that top hip, reaching up, and again, staying just like this. It's a good place to be. A lot of people tend to want to really lean forward in triangle and reach for the floor. That's exactly the opposite of what we want to do. We want to stay up against that invisible wall. Again, staying just like this, or if it's comfortable, lengthening both sides of the torso, hand resting on the shin, and opening from that top hip through the fingers. Again, we don't really need that support. It's just there. Nice, gentle touch. Another big inhale. Always lengthening and breathing. Bending that front knee and gently coming back up to the top. Feet come back to parallel. Again, let the shoulders relax down. We're almost done. Let's take another big inhale. And exhale, press out through the palms. At this point, if you'd like to sit in a chair, that is an option, or we can keep standing. And one more big inhale in. And exhale, big reach out. We're going to take one hand to the back of the hand, to the low back, or it can slide over to the side of the hip. Let the shoulder relax and let it open back. From here, we're going to tilt the head to the side, tilting away from that shoulder. And if we like, the hand can come up down to that ridge right above the ear and just putting a little pressure here. So we don't want to pull the head, we want to just give it a little pressure. And again, that's going to increase that stretch through the ear, down through the side of the neck, down into the shoulder. Nice deep inhales and exhales, in through the nose, out through the nose. And maybe pressing the arches toward the center. If you find yourself rolling to the edges of the feet, again, seated is also a fine place for this stretch. Let's gently release, bringing the head back to the center, bringing that arm from behind and bringing the fingers down the middle of the back, finding a tricep stretch, so grabbing onto that elbow, get just a little pressure. Let the fingers come down the middle of the back, so we're reaching down the middle of the back and taking a few deep breaths here. One more big inhale and exhale. And then gently releasing, opening the arms out and down. We're going to take the other hand, bring the back of the hand to the low back, let the shoulder relax or slide it across. And again, shoulder relaxes down. Tall from the top of the head, tilting the head away from that shoulder. And again, maybe staying just like that. Or the arm can come up, find that ridge above the ear, and just put a little pressure on the head. Again, nice deep inhales and exhales, in through the nose, out through the nose. Letting that breath expand and open, sink down into the body as we deepen the exhale and the inhale. Another big inhale and exhale. Gently releasing the head, releasing the arm. Again, that arm comes up and we find the elbow outside the elbow. And lifting up, let the chin come up, the spine stay long. Again, the fingers are reaching down the middle of the back. Finding that tricep stretch, breathing here. Again, we can be in that little bit of a wide stance, seated or just standing back in mountain. Nice big inhale and exhale. One more big inhale and exhale. And then gently releasing the arms out, letting them float back down. Heel toe walking the feet together, coming back to mountain. Keeping the knees slightly bent, and then nice and easy, hips forward, and just letting the arms swing, the shoulders relax. So again, this was a basic standing series. That does not necessarily mean that it was easy. It's been a while since you've done yoga. That might still be some challenging stuff. It really just depends, and yoga is not a competition, so it's not a competition with ourselves or with other people. It's just what it is for us today in this moment. And hopefully it had a little bit of stress relief, some stretches, relaxation. Coming back to center, knees slightly bent, and then just taking the hips around the center point of the body, the upper body nice and relaxed. So this can be a nice stretch series that's done if you've been sitting around all day and you need to stand up. Taking that around the other direction. We'll also be adding other videos that you can do in combination with this video for a longer workout. You can check out the breathing for stress relaxation, or stress relief rather, if you want some more instruction for breathing. Again, letting the shoulders relax. Taking a big inhale. Bring the hands together as we exhale down the heart center. Another big inhale and exhale. Thank you so much for stretching with me today. And I hope that you'll come back and do more soon.